back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you want up to 30 free stocks, Mumu is going to give you up to 30 free stocks when you open a new Mumu brokerage account. You put $100 in that brokerage account, they're going to give you 5 free stocks. You put $2,000 in that new Mumu brokerage account, they're going to give you 30 free stocks. Limited time, don't delay, act today. Get yourself down in that description box, click on that Mumu link, open up that Mumu account today. Go get that free stock, go get that free money. I'm going to also send you 2 Mumu tutorial videos that'll walk you through how to use the Mumu brokerage app. All you got to do is send me an email through my website, www.richardfane.net. Second link down in the description box. Let me know you've opened that Mumu account. Let me know you funded that Mumu account, and I'm going to send you out those tutorial videos because you don't want to miss next week, guys. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, you don't want to miss the month of March, April, or May, according to Tom Lee, who is the co-founder and head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors. He's a heavyweight, guys. This guy went to school at Wharton, so you know he's smart. And this is one of the guys I listen to when I'm in a situation where I'm not quite sure which direction to go when it comes to buying my paper assets to build wealth. I go listen to a guy like Tom Lee. And here's what Tom Lee had to say. He said, all of the downside we're seeing right now in the stock market is already priced in. This is low as we can go, guys. Now, that doesn't mean we won't dip a little bit more, but what he's saying is all the bad news is priced in. The tariffs are already priced in. We know we're going to get flip-flop on tariffs, so that's priced in, right? We also know this fake, the economy is getting ready to go into a recession thing, this fake thing that had been created by the 1%, that's already priced in. And according to him now, he's thinking in the month of April, May, matter of fact, March, April, and May, he's thinking 10 to 15% upside in stocks. So what does that mean what does he mean by that? He's saying, listen, it's a good opportunity to start buying right now. Now, again, I'm not giving you financial advice here. I'm just telling you, this is one of the guys that I listen to when I need direction and what the market is getting ready to do. And I've already told you guys yesterday, a well-known YouTuber that I respect just came out on record and said he bought the dip as well. I've been buying the dip. I've been telling you guys, buy the dip. Tom Lee. Again, this is not financial advice, and I'm paraphrasing, so don't take my word. Go out and do your own research now. But from what I've heard Tom Lee say, he's basically said, guys, don't be afraid to buy the dip. Even if it dipped a little bit more, he still believes over the next 3 months, we got a 10 or 15% increase in where it's at right now because all the bad news is priced in. You can't give us any more bad news to price it any lower. It's already priced in. We already know what's going on with the tariffs, right? We're going to flip-flop on those. We're going to use those as a negotiating tool to get whatever we are looking for, right? So the market knows that now. So it's priced in. We already know the jobs report came out last Friday. And guess what the jobs report told us about our economy? That the economy is still adding jobs. It added over 150,000 jobs in the month of February. So the Federal Reserve is okay with that. And guess what else I heard? Fed President Waller came out and said he is in support of cutting interest rates this year if there becomes a situation where they need to do it. They are willing and ready to step up and cut rates in a situation that warrants it. I love hearing that because you got to remember, guys, for a while here, we were getting no rate cuts in 2025. Now, all of a sudden, potential rate cuts are on the table. Most experts believe those rate cuts, if we get them, will happen in the month of June and July at the two Fed meetings, one in June and one in July. If we're going to get them, that's when we'll get them. Also, they believe on the back half of the year, depending upon how the market is doing, depending upon how inflation is doing, not necessarily the market, but inflation. It depends on how much inflation is doing. Then guess what? They may even cut a third time. Now, all this is speculation, guys, but at this point, everything we're going on is speculation. One thing that I do know is nobody wants the stock market to go into severe corrective territory. Nobody does. Not the 1%, not the 99%, not the Fed. I don't even believe 47 wants that. Because in my belief, 47 really grades himself based on how well the stock market does. That's what I believe. You guys may believe different, but I believe he really grades himself on how well the stock market does. And I know as a president, especially one like 47, he does not want that hanging over his 4 years. A busted up economy, a busted up stock market. He doesn't want that. That's my belief now. You guys don't have to believe the same thing I believe. You go out and do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. But I firmly believe that's not the case. I also firmly believe what's happening right now is an opportunity for us to build wealth, guys. Listen to what Tom Lee has said. Go check him out, guys. I would ask you to go out on Google and do a Google search for Tom Lee, co-founder, head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors. Go check out some of his interviews he's done on CNBC. He's a frequent contributor on CNBC. And a whole host of guys on YouTube have done, videos about him, real in-depth videos. So if you want to go out on YouTube to get a little bit more in-depth analysis of who Tom Lee is and all that good stuff, y'all know I don't do all that on my channel, but you can go to somebody else's channel on YouTube and they may have a lot of in-depth stuff. I'm not about all that. I'm about it just giving you little tidbits and you going out and doing your own homework, because that's the only way you learn. If I spoon feed you everything, you ain't gonna learn nothing. So I'm not here to spoon feed you. I'm here to tell you what I believe is coming over the next 3 months based on what Tom Lee has said. And it's not just Tom Lee. If you go out and look, there are other analysts out there that agree with it. They just do. So he believes there's a 10 to 15% upside over the next 3 months now. So guess what? Look at NVIDIA. I think it got down on Friday somewhere at $109 a share, guys. Now you're talking about, if you don't believe that's a bargain, I'm not sure what you're thinking about. Now, I know some people thinking, I'm gonna wait till it goes under 100. It may. We may still feel a little bit more short-term pain. But I do believe, though, by the end of this month, on into April, on into May, and even June and July, we're gonna pick back up at some point. We're gonna pick back up. I believe Tom Lee in what he's saying, that all of the bad news is already priced in. So be prepared for a rally. Y'all know how the stock market works, guys. We're gonna have a period of correction and consolidation. But once that's over, going back up, Tom Lee, guess what he predicted in 2024, at the beginning of 2024? And a lot of people didn't predict this, but he did. He predicted that the S&P 500 would be over 6,000 points. And guess what it did? It did it. And you got to understand, he did this like in January of 2024 when he predicted this, and the S&P was hovering around 47, 48 at the time. And he predicted 6,000. So for those of you who don't know who Tom Lee is, go out and do your homework, man. Don't listen to these people here in the chat. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. Don't listen to these people in the chat. What you need to do is go out and do your own independent research. Just look up Tom Lee. Go look up Tom Lee's predictions that he did in 2024. What he said that the S&P would do. And a lot of people didn't believe that. A lot of your major banks didn't believe it. I think at the first part of the year, Bank of America was giving the S&P 5,500. And this is a huge bank. Go look at what's Wells Fargo's prediction. It wasn't 6,000. It was in the 5,000 range. Tom Lee came out on record and said he believed the S&P would get to over 6,000 points, and it did it. So for me, guys, I like this guy. He's practical. He's trained properly. He's, like I told y'all, he's the head of research, man, and co-founder of Fundstrat Global Advisors. Go look them guys up. Go check him out. Do your homework on him. Don't take my advice. Go do your homework and see exactly what I'm telling you. And again, nothing's guaranteed, guys. I can't guarantee you anything. Tom Lee can't guarantee you anything. None of these other guys you watch on YouTube can't guarantee you anything. Nobody can guarantee you anything. But you got to go out and do your homework. But think about it. Think about the stock market. Think about where we're at. Think about what happens to the stock market historically after you've had a correction and a consolidation. What happens? Basically, you're going to see a rally. That's the way the stock market works, guys. I keep telling y'all this every single day. The only reason the stock market exists is for these rallies, for people to make money. And why not make money for yourself? I already told y'all my thought process was on this whole tariff thing. Of course, it was a negotiating tool, but it also was an opportunity for the uber wealthy to get wealthier, because they knew once 47 come out with those tariffs, it was going to spook everybody and the market would crash. And that's exactly what it did. Exactly what the 1% wanted. Think about it, guys. Listen, and this is no conspiracy theory, but just think about it logically. Take your emotional thinking cap off, because I know some of y'all got your emotional thinking cap on and you're not going to hear me. Turn off your emotional thinking cap for another few minutes while I'm on this video. Turn off the emotional thinking cap and put on your logical. Here's what you got to understand. The last 2 years, we've had an S&P 500 do over 20% return. Now, at some point, the wealthy are going to say, you know something, guys? We've gotten wealthy over the last 2 years, but guess what? We don't want a third year of the S&P doing over 20% because we can't really get wealthier that way. We need a pullback. We need a manufactured pullback. And guess what we've gotten? A manufactured pullback. This whole tariff thing is a manufactured pullback of assets. So why? So the 1% can get in and gobble them up at a deep discount. And then guess what's coming? The rally, because that's where they make money. This is it, guys. So what we got to do is we got to participate. We can't miss out on that, right? We can't miss out on that. So we got to put ourselves in a position so that we don't miss out on it. Right now, the market's been red for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, deep discounts. Some of y'all are on the sideline and all cash thinking, I'm gonna wait. What are you waiting on? Again, not financial advice, just a question. I'm a curious guy. I'm just asking a question. If you're in all cash, what are you waiting on? Do you believe it's gonna go worse? Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Here's my recommendation for my folks that rock with me. Consider putting some of the cash to work. I'm not saying you put it all in the market, but consider putting some of the cash to work. And then if we do experience a deeper dip, you still got some cash on the sideline to take advantage of that as well. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to put my cash to work because I know over the last 30 years I've done that and it served me well and I've made a lot of money. See, I don't worry about what people say. I know exactly what I'm doing and I know exactly what has worked for me. Now, that doesn't mean it'll work for you. So that's why I keep telling you guys, you got to have your own story. You got to have your own why, and you got to have your own reasons for investing. You can't say, well, I'm investing because the guy on YouTube said to invest. That's not good enough. Don't put your money in anything based on what somebody else is doing with their money. You got to figure out, is the stock market the right thing for me? Do I believe at some point this correction will turn itself around and somebody gonna get rich? See, somebody getting rich right now while a lot of us are sitting on the sidelines scared. Somebody getting rich. Again, NVIDIA at 109 a share. I don't know, guys. That's a pretty low stock price at 109 a share. So listen, 3 months ago, guys, this stock was trading at $150 to $153 a share. This is NVIDIA. This was less than 3 months ago. What's happened between, mid-December to mid-March with NVIDIA? What's happened? Has the company deteriorated? Has the management changed? Have they lost key customers? Did they come out with an earnings report that missed expectations? What happened to drive the stock price from 150 to 109? That's market behavior, guys. That has nothing to do with business performance. This is what I'm telling you. A lot of people were saying, well, okay, we're in trouble in the economy. I agree. When I looked at that report from the Atlanta Fed that they came out with last week, and it said through March 3rd, the economy was a negative 2.8% real time. So there's a really, really good chance we could finish up the first quarter of 2025 in the negative, the economy. And all that means is the economy won't be growing, right? It'll be contracting. It's not growing, it's contracting because it's a negative growth. That could happen. A lot of that, and some of you will agree and some of you won't agree, but a lot of that is built around the tariffs. Think about in January, before any tariff talks started. Where was the stock market? It was carrying on from where it left off in 2024. As soon as we started the tariff talks, what happened to the stock market? What happened to the economy? Right? The stock market started going down because investors started pulling their money out of assets, paper assets. And then obviously businesses stopped borrowing, businesses stopped expanding. Why? Because they were afraid. They didn't know what was going on. You had a lot of businesses who depend on goods from Canada and Mexico. Think about all the businesses that depend on goods from Canada and Mexico. I'll give you a couple names. Ford and GM. I'll give you a couple more. Target, Walmart. You ever heard of those companies? Oh yeah, they depend on that. So guess what? That hurt things. See, when companies, listen guys, when companies are not clear on what's coming, when it comes to our economy, our policies, our government policies around business, around the economy, when they're not sure, what do? They shut down spending. They shut down investing. They shut down spending and they shut down investing in growth until they find out what's getting ready to happen. Nobody wants to pour a bunch of money into things that won't give them a return because of policies or tariffs or things like that. So a lot of these businesses kind of pull back. In February, they started to pull back and on into March. But once we figure out the tariffs, which I think we will here real soon, we'll figure it out. And then you're going to have the back half of March, April, and May. I agree with Tom Lee. We have a potential to see a 10 to 15% increase in paper assets. Is that a guarantee? No. There's no guarantee in life. There's no guarantee that will happen. But at least we have an opportunity to consider it. And if you go look at the history of the stock market, just go look at it. Go look at the history of the stock market and see what happens after major corrections and pullbacks. Go look at them. Just go look at history, guys. You're going to have a massive rally at some point. You have to. because that's the whole point of the stock market, right? Now, 2022 was much different because we had inflation through the roof and the Fed was jacking interest rates. That's different. We don't have that in today's environment. We don't have that. Now remember, next week, be on the lookout for next week, guys. Be on the lookout for the CPI and the PPI inflation reports for February. Remember, at the end of February, we got the January PCE report, and that report was pretty good. So now, next week, we'll get the February CPI and PPI inflation report, and let's see how inflation is doing, right? I will say inflation is going to probably be exactly where it is. No major increases, obviously no major decreases, but it'll be exactly where it needs to be to keep us out of trouble. It'll be exactly where we need it to be to keep the Fed from considering increasing interest rates, right? That's what I think. So I think that will be a push next week. Now that could be a good news catalyst though, right? Just like these bad news catalysts. That could be a good news catalyst for the markets next week, because the market is looking for good news, guys. We've had all of this bad news for the first, couple of weeks of the last couple of weeks. The market is looking for good news so that people can start back putting money back in investments, paper assets, right? So I think at some point the tariffs won't even be that big of news anymore because of the flip-flop, right? Everybody now knows that 47 is using the tariffs as a negotiating chip. Everybody knows that. I mean, everybody. I mean, investors know that, analysts know that, everyday people like you and I know that. Because if we were serious about them, we'd have just buckled down on them and that would have been it and would have been done. Not all this flip-flop. So the market won't even consider that anymore, guys. That doesn't mean we can't have other policies that come out that don't affect the stock market. It's going to be a roller coaster ride with 47. We know that for the next 4 years. It's going to be always something going on and brewing. But I think what's going to happen is at some point, the market will just discount all of that, right? They're going to say, you know something, fool us once, shame on you. Fool us twice, shame on me. See, that's the way the market is going to start handling 47 in a minute. They're going to say, fool us once, shame on you. Fool us twice, shame on us. And that's how the market's going to handle this going forward, because just too much stuff, right? But that's okay. We understand how the government works. They got to do some things that we're not happy with in order to get us where we need to get. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I think most investors will be okay with that as well. So what is my strategy for next week? Same thing. Short-term investment strategy starting Monday. And I'm going to hammer it. I'm going to hammer it all the next week. I had a good week last week in the short-term investment strategy. I didn't invest as much money as I normally would because of what's going on in the market. Got to be a little bit more conservative. But I did deploy some money last week into the short-term strategy, and I actually made about 15 grand. Not bad, little 15 grand. But if you compound that over the next 4 weeks, you see where I'm going? You end up the month with about 60 grand in short-term investing. And then obviously the long-term investing strategy, I'm just buying the dip. I'm just going crazy on the S&P through SPLG, which is my S&P 500 ETF. I'm going crazy on FTEC, which is my information technology ETF. And I'm going crazy on the Mag 7, right? That's the long-term strategy, Wealth Transfer Blueprint 1.0. So I'm just going to continue doing that, hammering that home, man. I'm going to keep hammering that home on the long-term portfolio. I'm going to keep on investing in my little 22 gorilla stocks when I can, right, to make FCF, making sure I don't overextend myself, get too greedy and invest too much money. I'm going to take a certain amount of money every single day the market is open, and I'm going to deploy it into big boy blue chip paper assets for long-term wealth, and I'm going to deploy it into the little gorilla stocks for FCF. That's my game plan. That's it. And if you want to rock with me on that, guys, here's what you need to do. You need to get down in the description box and click on that Mumu link and open up that Mumu account. You need a brokerage account if you want to take advantage of what's getting ready to happen over these next 3 months, according to Tom Lee. Not Richard Fain, Tom Lee. And again, Tom Lee is not saying that's a guarantee. He's saying based on their research. Remember, guys, this guy is the co-founder and chief research. He's the chief researcher, the head researcher for Fundstrat Global Advisors. So he's a heavyweight. He's a heavyweight. Frequent contributor on CNBC. One of the guys that I go to and listen to when I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the stock market. He's one of the guys that I go and listen to. So listen, and again, that doesn't mean he's an expert. Well, he is an expert. He is an expert. I'm not an expert. He is an expert, but I'm not. But that doesn't mean he can't be wrong, is what I'm saying. Even experts can be wrong, right? So what you got to do is go do your own homework and figure out what's right for you and your family. And if sitting on the sideline and keeping your money at the bank is the right thing for you guys right now, then do that. Only do what you're comfortable doing, guys, right? Do not get yourself into anything that you're not comfortable getting yourself into. And if you're never comfortable doing it, stay on the sideline, keep your money in CDs at the bank, keep it in the money market, and you'll be fine. But a guy like me, I got a pretty nice lifestyle I want to lead. So I need to be making this money. So one of the ways I do that is through the stock market, investing every day into these little 22 gorilla stocks and making cash flow every day, and then investing in my long-term investment strategy for the rainy day fund, for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Like I said, if you want to join me, get down in the description box, click on the first link, which is the Mumu link. The good folks at Mumu, who is my primary brokerage app that I use for investing, the good folks at Mumu are willing to give you up to 30 free stocks. All you got to do is open up your Mumu account, and if you fund it with $100, they'll give you $5. If you fund it with $2,000, they'll give you 30 free stocks, publicly traded companies. And now you're ready to rock and roll. You got your money in your brokerage account, and then you'll send me an email through my website, www.richardfain.net. You'll send me an email and let me know you've opened that account up. And then I'm going to send you some tutorial videos that the people at Mumu have done for you so you can learn how to use their app to start investing. The next thing you want to do, man, is consider joining the Wealth Builders, my financial community on Patreon, guys. Monsters. We got a bunch of people in there that are trying to build wealth, man. It's a monster community. And we love each other and we help each other build wealth. It's all about building wealth, guys. That's why we're in there. We're not in there to make best friends. We're not in there we're in there to get tips and nuggets and best practices and what's working and what's not working to build wealth. That's what we do in the Wealth Builders. If you want to be a part of that community, all you got to do is the second link down in the description box is my website, www.richardfain.net. Come join us, guys. Click on that website link. It'll take you to the website. Check out the digital products that can help you with your financial literacy. Thousands of you guys have already done that. And then the next thing you need to do is look for that join button or that membership button. It'll take you over to Patreon. Come join the Wealth Builders. We'd love to have you. We'd love to help get you to wealth. None of us are experts. We won't try to tell you what to do. We're this there to be able to provide some experience. Because when you got 1,800 of us, we got a lot of experience we can share. Right? No, like I said, can't tell you what to do, can't be an expert for you, but we can tell you what we've been doing to help us build our wealth. And maybe that will help you build your wealth. Maybe you can get in there and start asking questions, and when you got 1,800 people in there, somebody has some experience and some feedback for you. You ain't gonna get that in the Matrix. Don't nobody care about you in the Matrix. They don't care if you build wealth. Matter of fact, in the Matrix, they don't want you to build wealth. They want you to be dependent on them for the rest of your life and then collect Social Security. That's what they're gonna give you in the Matrix, Social Security. Now, if that's enough to take care of you, then you're blessed. Go get your Social Security. But if it's not gonna be enough to take care of you, you better get yourself over to the Wealth Builders and figure out how to build some wealth. And then you got a direct line to me through direct message. You can direct message me every single day. Every single day you can direct message me. and have a direct pipeline to me. That's the only way you can message me, though. Can't message me through Instagram, although I'd love for you to follow me on Instagram, because I do a lot of car content and, you know, watch content and all kind of little content on Instagram. But where the rubber meets the road, if you want to contact me about building wealth, you got to be a wealth builder. You got to be a part of the Wealth Builders financial community in order to do that. So like I said, in the website, just come on over and sign up and then send me a direct message, and then we're good to go. And then you can DM me every day if you want to. People do that. But you can't email me or try to slide one in through Instagram or I don't do no mentoring on Instagram, and I don't do no mentoring in the comment section of these videos. I don't do no mentoring through email that you send me. The only way you get daily mentoring and you're looped in is through the Wealth Builders. So like I said, if you want to be a part of that and you want to rock with me, come join us. If you don't want to rock with me, keep doing what you're doing. That's okay too. That ain't gonna bother me, guys. I got 1,800 people in there from nothing, from zero. Started it back in May of 2024 with zero. An idea that I went ahead and offered it to people. Zero. You know, 8-9 months later, we got 1,800 members. So I'm gonna reach people, guys, because I'm gonna be on YouTube every single day, 365 days a year. I'm gonna be on here sharing my story, and somebody gonna resonate with my story. Not everybody, but somebody. I get so many people that contact me every single day, guys. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of emails. See, I ain't got no problem with reaching people, because there's 4.5 billion people that got access to the internet. And guess what I'm on right now? Internet. So I'm gonna reach people. My job here is to tell my story and tell people how I built wealth. Not to be an expert, but just a regular old guy from a modest, humble beginnings, single parent household. Wasn't supposed to be nothing, but now with the Lord's blessing, I got everything I've ever wanted. I'm traveling right now. I'm in Washington, D.C. right now. Traveling, just doing my thing, right? Got a conference I got to go to, which starts tomorrow for a few days. But this is the lifestyle I lead. And the only way I get to lead this lifestyle, y'all see these big old buildings? Y'all know that ain't where I live. So I'm doing my thing right now in Washington, D.C. I'm gonna be here for a few days, so I'll be setting up videos and doing my thing here. But I just wanted to hit you guys up, man, to let y'all know you can do anything you want to do, man. You can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it. Don't worry about these people in the chat, because again, these are people that are, you know, don't worry about it. What you need to focus on is you, and focus on people that can help you, right? Focus on you and focus on people that can help you, and you will be great. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to go catch dinner and do a couple other things before the sun set. Y'all have a rest of a wonderful Sunday. I hope you guys heard the word today. Get yourself in position and get prepared for next week. It's going to be a big week in the stock market, so get yourself prepared. For those of you that want to rock with me on Mumu, get down to that second link. Come rock with me. For those of you who want to rock with me in my financial community, second link through the website. Come rock with me. Hey, man, y'all keep looking up. Don't ever look down. Only look up. Only look up. Right? Don't ever look down. When life smiles at you, smile back. Appreciate y'all. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.